Every time I work on a Google Analytics implementation for a customer, it doesn't start with the reports. It doesn't start with Tag Manager or anything like that. It starts with the most basic question that what does the business want to learn from these reports? Okay, while they're basic, they're the most powerful driving force and the whole reason why Google Analytics or any kind of analytics is out there to help you. And it's a very complicated thing to do. Okay, and not many people talk about it. This is a hidden aspect often in these before you learn Google Analytics. But as soon as you start working with it, you realize that, oh, well, if this piece of information was there, it would be so useful to me. Or if that piece of information was there in a different way, it would be so useful to me. I'm sure that you will get these kind of questions because I've seen many businesses having these kind of questions. Okay. And it is absolutely not straightforward. So let's spend some time understanding why this is such a big issue and what really happens that will take most of your time to understand how to model your data. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I will take you back to my screen and this is one website that I have. Okay, this is a single page website. Not much fuss going around. This is just this page. And if you click on these courses, it will take to Udemy courses that I have. There's a form over here in the last section, some about me sections, some of these compliments that I've got in my work, okay, and so on. Now, this is as simple a website can get, isn't it? Because there's just one page and there are few interaction elements in those pages. So if we were to answer this question that what do we want to track from this website, how would we go about it? That is the question, right? And if you are able to solve this for a simple website and then increase the complexity, maybe it will make more sense. So let's talk about that. I would like to know, for example, how many of the users actually send me an email when they visited. So if they click on this email, okay, the email box opens and they write an email. Now, whether they did write an email or not, I do not know, right? It cannot be figured out because it is outside the website. But at least I can track how many users clicked on this menu, right? Similarly, if a user clicks on Let's Talk and a form opens, right? I would like to see how many users clicked on Let's Talk and of course, how many users ended up filling the form, okay? And then I would also want to know that how many users wanted to see my services right over here and they came to this area. Of course, I may want to see how many users scrolled till the end or how many users actually clicked on this take me to the courses. That gives me an idea of what interactions users are carrying the most, which forms users are filling the most, right? The one on the top that comes in a pop-up or this one, okay? So if I see that the pop-up form is not getting filled at all, while this form is getting some of the fills, maybe my pop-up form is not very prominent. It's not even showing up. Maybe I need to add it somewhere here, or maybe I need to get rid of it completely. That's the A/B test or experiment that I have to do. But the question still remains is how do we model it? And I think this is how you model it. Some of them may click on menu items. So all these interactions that's out there, I would like to measure them, isn't it? So let's go back to our drawing board. Okay, let's talk about the insights once again, summarize it before we move forward. So this is our website and I would like to know how many times a button or link of the website got clicked, how many times a particular button or a link on the website got clicked, right? How many times users filled the form, how many users filled the form after clicking the button. Okay, there are two forms over there. How many users didn't click a button or a link on the website? How many users didn't fill a form after clicking the form opening button? Very important, right? And now here you will see the example of funnel also coming in. So first of all, user has to make a visit. That's the first step of the funnel. Remember the funnel reports. And then in the next step, they have to click on a button. So if that is happening or not. And in the third step, once that pop-up window opens, whether they fill the form or not, that's the third step of the funnel. So I need to capture all of them to understand what's happening. How many users have taken interest in my courses? So if people are clicking on that my courses button, I can consider that users have taken an interest, right? So let's scroll below. Now what you need to do over here is you have to map the questions to the user interactions on the website. For example, let's say someone clicks on this Let's Talk button. Okay. At that point, I can say that the user is interested in my services. Maybe that's the reason he has clicked on Let's Talk. Okay. And at that point, I can fire an event which say let's talk button clicked, right? That could be my event. With that event, I can send additional information. But if it is the same page, let's say there were 2 pages and this button was there in 2 pages, then I could have sent the page on which the click happened. So I could have sent it with the additional information. If I want to see how many menu clicks have happened, okay, then I can, fire an event on all of these. What link clicked, course link clicked, about us link clicked, and so on. And every time this happens, a link get clicked, it will get incremented inside Google Analytics account. So there were, let's say on day X, there were 20 such events that were executed by the users. On day X plus 1 user came and then clicked on about us link. So that will increment the counter from 20 of about us that we had the day before to 21, right? And so on. You can do for everything. Case study 1 image clicked, case study 2 image clicked, so on. Case study 3 image clicked, and so on, right? Set up a meeting button clicked, form fill executed. I mean, there are all these interactions that a user can do. Maybe I can also capture the scroll. Okay, that's possible. That is done automatically in GA4. So you can capture the scroll and check out which user scrolled to the end, right? So far, so good. And then what do you do in the next step? Now, after running a few days of your Google Analytics implementation, what you see is this kind of data. Okay, you can go to the events tab and see this kind of data. And you see that the logo image was clicked for about 102 times and about 94 users clicked on that top logo. Okay, so this one. Okay, so 102 times by 94 users. And then services link was clicked about 504 times by 350 users, and so on. Okay. Then you can do a summation and you find out how many total users were there and how many form fills happened and all these things, right? Then you can take a ratio of if there were so many users, only, a very small percentage of them actually filled the form. More should have filled it. Therefore, there is some problem in the marketing and that intervention has to be done. Okay. Now, if you go to that first question set that we had, okay, we can also answer that. How many times a button or a link in the website got clicked? 2796 times. Maybe I do the computation from here. How many times that let's talk button got clicked? 438 times. How many users filled the form? 120, and so on, right? So you are able to answer this by modeling our data collection like this, okay? So you consciously decided that, okay, let's capture all the clicks on these buttons, maybe capture scrolls and all those things. And that will give me an answer to these questions that I have with me, right? And some of them may be goal related questions like form fills. So this seems simple enough, okay? But is it a good design? Is it the best way to structure the data? That's the question, okay? Now, if you think of it deeply, what we have done is we are actually collecting a lot of data, okay? Over here, for example, there is a set of data like logo image click, service link click, courses link click, and so on. All these are basically all those menu related items, right? That shows up on the top. While if I were to add now 2 more menus, for example, resources link clicked or example link clicked, I'll have to add 2 more events. Similarly, if there were 5 case studies right now, I have got 5 such clicked options. But what if I add the 6 and 7 case study? So I'll have to fire 2 more events. Okay. Similarly, we have got similar kind of data. For example, those big button datas, let's talk button, services button, all those big buttons, right? They are also there. And if I add more buttons, I have to capture the click. Then there is form field. There are 2 form fields. So I'm capturing both of them in 2 different events. And if there are more forms in the website, then I'll have to capture more forms. Okay. So for a simple website, it's simple enough. But what if the website gets complex? And there are many such pages. Let's see another example where this thing can happen and how to now think of more complex data models and how to work with them. So I'll meet you in the next chapter. Thank you.